The queen's heart beat furiously in the king's hand, crimson veins pulsing between his fingers as priests chant for her death. With a trembling voice, he commands her, "Burn my kingdom first." The flames reflect in their eyes, love and destruction entwined. 2 nights before, she was still locked in the healer's garden.
On your knees, traitor!
Seris crashed to stone, wrists burning under hemp rope. Blood dripped from her forearm, her gown already torn, sticky. The crowd's chanting hammered her skull. The Alpha King watched, silent, eyes unreadable. Aldrin's staff slammed the dais. The noise snapped the room still. He unfurled a blood-soaked cloth and slapped it onto the altar. The sharp reek of wolfsbane cut through the air.
By decree, let judgment bind the traitor's life to the Alpha's will.
King Theron loomed above her, broad and rigid, silver wolf stitched across his chest. His left hand, gloved, black, clenched tight, unmoving. The velvet of his cloak brushed her shoulder, cold as a threat.
Is this necessary?
His voice was low, iron-edged. The court murmured, hungry.
Mercy for poison? The right demands sacrifice. The Alpha commands her heart.
Seris forced her chin up, meeting the king's stare. Her voice cut through the hush.
You want a confession? You'll have to rip it out of me.
A ripple ran through the crowd. Aldrin's grip on his staff whitened.
She mocks sacred law. Bind her soul.
Priests surged forward, chanting rising. The king's gloved hand spasmed. He flinched, barely. The altar cloth twitched, as if something beneath it thudded once. For a heartbeat, Theron's mask slipped. Pain flickered in his eyes. Seris wondered, did he feel it too? He squeezed his fist tighter. A silver wolf's fang ring flashed. Seris's chest seized. Her pulse stumbled. Aldrin raised his staff high.
Now, your majesty, finish it. The curse is sealed only when her blood stops.
Theron's jaw locked. He didn't move.
No.
The priests froze. The chamber held its breath. Seris's voice broke the silence, raw.
You can't will a heart to die for you. Even kings bleed when it breaks.
The altar cloth jerked. The king's fist convulsed, as if the heartbeat inside it wasn't his own. What's hidden in that glove? Why does my pain reach him? Aldrin's shadow loomed, but Theron blocked his path. The right demanded blood. The king refused. The heart, whose, raced on, and Seris waited, bound, as the king's gloved hand refused to open. The whip cracked before Seris could brace herself. She jerked forward, knees scraping stone, rope biting into her wrists.
Begin the count, your majesty.
Theron's silence pressed on the chamber. The priest's chanting died, cut short by his refusal. Aldrin's crimson robe swept past Seris, his voice slicing through the hush.
The sacred law demands her heart. Crush it, or the punishment falls to us.
Seris glared up at the king. Theron's jaw flexed, eyes hard, but his fists trembled at his sides.
You overstep, Aldrin.
Aldrin's lips curled. He nodded to the guards. One laid the whip on the altar, iron tips glinting. Another forced Seris down, shoulders pinned.
If the king will not act, the law will.
The next lash landed, a brutal line across her back. Seris bit down a cry, refusing to give them the satisfaction. Blood smeared the altar. The priests watched, faces hidden, but one stifled a laugh as a wolf pup nosed at Seris's ankle, sniffing curiously.
Count, your majesty. You must witness.
Theron's face was stone. The whip struck again. Seris drew in a shaky breath and began to hum, the old battle hymn from her childhood, each note a shield.
Silence her!
The guard moved to clump a hand over her mouth, but the wolf pup yipped, darting between their legs. The absurdity broke the tension for a heartbeat. Even Seris's lips twitched.
Enough.
He strode forward, ripping the whip from the guard's grip. For a moment, no one breathed.
Return her heart, now.
Aldrin recoiled, scandal clear in his eyes. The priests gasped. This was blasphemy. Theron seized the silver bowl, Seris's heart still pulsing inside, and knelt beside her. The wolf pup pressed its nose to her leg, anchoring her as Theron pressed the heart to the torn skin above her ribs. A jolt, white-hot, electric. The world narrowed to the king's shaking hands and the blood pooling between his fingers. Seris's humming faltered, silence crashed down. Would the king survive this rebellion? Would she? The answer hung, unspoken, as the chamber held its breath.
Drag her up. Let the king see what mercy breeds.
Seris stumbled as the guard yanked her upright, rope biting her wrist. Jeers crashed over her, the court's laughter jagged and eager. She pressed her hand to her collarbone, pulse thrumming wild beneath torn linen. The king stood close, silver wolf on his cloak, eyes fixed on her, unreadable. She met his stare, refusing to blink. The guard's grip tightened. She bit her tongue, grounding herself in the sting. Aldrin's staff slammed the floor. Silence snapped into place.
Release her.
The guard froze, then let go. Seris staggered, caught herself. Theron leaned in, voice barely a breath.
Forgive me.
His words rattled her. She searched his face. No mockery, just something raw and exposed. Aldrin swept forward, robes swirling.
She lives because your will is weak, my king. Sacred law permits no traitors to rise. The heart should not return.
Seris's mouth twisted.
You sound disappointed. Should I die again, priest? Or does your magic fail when watched?
Aldrin's face flushed. The guards shifted, uncertain.
Summon the council. Send word to every throne in the 7 kingdoms. Today, the curse of the first queen is invoked.
The chamber erupted, priests recoiling, whispers flying. Outside, metal clanged, chaos leaking in. Seris steadied herself, fingers pressed to her heartbeat.
You cannot mean the curse is forbidden. To break it is destruction.
Theron's hand shook, visible now.
None are safe from its justice. She will be judge and flame. My house first.
The words landed like a blow. Seris's thoughts spun. He would use her as executioner, starting with his own blood. He hesitated. His eyes flicked to her, uncertain.
You want me to burn your crown? Or is this how you kill me without the stain?
He held her gaze, jaw clenched.
Do what must be done. Spare no one, not even me.
Seris pressed her palm hard to her chest, heartbeat stumbling. The court watched, silent, waiting for her to break. A crash echoed from beyond the doors. The king's body shifted, shielding her. She spat blood at the stone, taste metallic and hot.
You made your oath. I make mine.
The bells outside rose to a fever pitch, drowning every promise, except the one she'd just sworn.
Move!
A fist slammed Seris between the shoulder blades. She stumbled, barefoot, through the city gate's shadow, catching herself on the iron bars. The metal was slick with last night's rain.
3 goats? That's all she's worth.
She's cursed, you fool.
She's bleeding. Look!
Seris pressed the cloth tighter to her wrist. The wound throbbed, but she kept her chin high. Above her, the city's banners drooped, torn and blackened at the edges. The wolf sigil, charred into the gate, seemed to glare at her. A warhorse snorted overhead. The Alpha King sat rigid in the saddle, battered crown shadowing his eyes. He didn't blink. The crowd shrank from his gaze, as if his silence weighed more than any threat. The high priest's staff cracked against stone.
Let her pass. The law binds her now, not your hands.
The guards hesitated, then parted. Seris stepped forward, palms scraping the gate's iron. She wouldn't let them see her falter. A blur of white darted from the crowd. A wolf pup, all paws and ears. It tangled between Seris's ankles, tripping a squire. He crashed into the mud. Laughter burst out, sharp and nervous. Seris almost smiled. Almost. She looked up. The king's jaw flexed. His knuckles whitened on the reins.
You defied them. The city stands. Now finish it.
A gasp rippled through the crowd. Someone hurled a stone. It clipped Seris's sleeve. She didn't flinch. The city's fear pressed close, hungry and restless. If she wavered, they'd taste it. Her voice cut through the noise.
If I end this, I do it with eyes open. You should too.
Silence. Even the king stilled. The wolf pup nosed her heel, insistent. Seris stepped to the gate, blood streaking her palm, and pressed her hand to the scorched sigil. Heat pulsed beneath her skin. Bells tolled above. Slow, relentless. Each peal promised upheaval. The crowd held its breath. Would Seris doom them or save them? And why did the king let her choose? The answer erupted from the iron raw and furious, as the gate groaned open.
Move! Garden's waiting.
Seris stumbled forward, wrists bound, the guard's grip unyielding. Weeds tangled her ankles as they entered the healer's patch. Villagers hovered at the gate, eyes darting between Seris and the king's men. A mother shoved her limping son ahead, his knee caked in grime. The guard's hand hovered near his sword.
No games. Heal, then back in chains.
Seris knelt, ignoring him. She brushed dirt from the boy's wound, hands steady despite the rope biting her skin.
Go on. Scream if you need.
The boy's lips pressed thin, but he stayed silent. Seris rinsed the cut with water from a battered jug, then pressed yarrow to the scrape. The bitter tang of wolfsbane clung to her fingers. Above the herbs, the Alpha King watched, half-shadowed by sunlight. Seris refused to meet his gaze, focusing on the bandage, making every movement deliberate. The mother's thanks was barely a whisper. The guard snorted.
Waste of effort. They'll just get hurt again.
Seris shot him a look.
Show me your wounds, then. Or are you afraid I'll do my job?
He looked away, jaw tight. The king stepped closer, voice low.
You know your plants. That one,
He pointed to a wolfsbane, its leaves curling at the edges.
it's failing. Can you fix it?
Seris snapped off a leaf, rolling it between her fingers. The scent was acrid, familiar.
If the roots hold, yes.
She didn't wait for a reply. A girl approached, palm bleeding. Seris wrapped her hand, quick and gentle, then squeezed her shoulder. The king's eyes tracked every move. Another villager edged forward, hopeful. Seris turned to the king.
If you want them healed, I need more water and linen.
He hesitated, then nodded.
You'll have both. Children first.
His voice cracked. Just for a moment, Seris wondered if he cared or only wanted to be seen caring. She knelt by the wolf's bane, fingers digging into the soil, the roots tangled, but alive. She trimmed the dying leaves, the plant's scent lingering on her skin.
It'll survive, if you let it.
The king crouched beside her, close enough for Seris to see the scars on his hands.
You could have let that boy bleed.
Seris paused, dirt streaking her palms.
I'm not you.
His jaw flexed, but he said nothing. A shout cut through the garden. The guard spun as a villager sprinted in, waving a torn letter.
Message from the city. For you, sire.
The king's eyes flicked to Seris, then the letter. He tore it open, reading fast. His face hardened, any warmth gone.
You, with me. Now.
Seris wiped her hands, heart pounding. The garden's brief peace shattered. Whatever came next, it would demand a choice. Hers or his. Seris ducked under the rope, heart hammering, and kept moving. Her shoes scuffed the ancient floor, scattering dust that tasted metallic on her tongue. She stopped at a warped door. On the other side, something whirred. A machine. Hidden. Alive. She pressed her palm flat, then pushed inside. The chamber swallowed her. Murals crowded the walls. Hunts. Coronations. Wolves and women locked together. At the far end, a queen loomed, her heart chained to a wolf's paw. The queen's eyes, icy, familiar, fixed on Seris. Seris knelt, tracing the mural's heart. The paint flaked, leaving her fingers stained. She brushed at the dust. The heart felt wrong, as if it might pulse under her touch. A heavy step behind her. She spun, scraping her hand on the stone.
You shouldn't be here.
Seris stood, chin high, blood welling on her thumb.
You locked this away. What are you hiding?
He closed the door. The lock snapped shut.
Some things kill by inches, like wolfsbane.
She pressed her thumb to the painted heart, red dust smearing her skin.
Is this your sacred law? Chains and blood?
He stared at the mural, not her.
The curse began here. A queen's love twisted, wolf and crown shackled together.
Seris watched him, searching for a lie. She found only fatigue.
Why now? Why me?
He hesitated. His voice dropped. Rough.
You're part of it. Or someone wants you to be.
He stepped closer, too close. She didn't move. He pulled a strip of linen from his pocket, offering it.
You bleed easier than most.
She grabbed the linen, fumbling with the knot. Her hands shook.
Chains break, stone crumbles, nothing lasts forever.
He almost smiled. Almost. Then he tied the bandage himself, his fingers brushing hers. Both flinched.
Some wounds stay open.
His gaze flicked to the mural, the wolf's paw, the chained heart. His voice softened, barely audible.
I carry my own curse.
He turned, cloak brushing the wall, smearing red paint.
Who else knows? Why bring me here?
He unlocked the door, pausing with his head bowed, as if the mural's chains dragged at his shoulders. Seris pressed her palm to the heart again. The paint crumbled, exposing a rune, jagged, ancient, faintly glowing. She jerked her hand back. Blood welled on her palm. The rune pulsed brighter. The door slammed. She was alone. The queen's eyes glared from the stone, cold and relentless. The curse was real, and now it lived in her blood. What else had they hidden in these walls?
Hold still, or I'll let you bleed out.
Theron grunted, but didn't move. Seris yanked the linen tight around his forearm, knotting it above the gash. Her hands shook, stained green from wolfsbane. She pressed down, hard enough to make him wince.
You'd make a cruel healer.
You'd make a worse patient.
He almost smiled, but his eyes stayed sharp, watching her. The ruined terrace stretched behind them, city lights scattered below. Somewhere, distant shouting rose and faded. Seris checked the bandage, then let her hand linger a moment too long. She hated how steady his pulse felt under her fingers.
You're lucky I didn't let the priests finish you.
They'd have tried. You be rid of me, and the realm would be theirs to ruin.
He flexed his hand, testing her work. A streak of dried blood marked his wrist.
You're hiding something. Spit it out.
Theron's jaw worked. He looked away, then back, as if weighing the cost.
The ritual bound us. My life is tied to yours. If you die, I die. The kingdom falls with me.
Seris's breath caught. She stared at him, searching for a crack in his certainty.
So that's it? Threaten me with the end of everything, so I play nursemaid.
No threat. Just fact. The priests know it. That's why they want you gone. That's why I can't let them win.
She pulled her hand away, heart pounding in her throat. The truth settled between them, heavy as a chain.
So I'm a tool, or a curse. Use me until I break.
You're the only one I trust. With my life, Seris. That's not nothing.
His voice was low, roughened by something she didn't want to name. For a moment, neither spoke. A nightingale trilled from the eaves, sudden and bright. Seris flinched, startled by the sound after so much silence. Theron's gaze softened, following the bird's song.
You're not the curse. The curse is what dragged us both here.
Seris hesitated, then pressed her palm to his bandaged arm. His fingers curled, not quite holding on.
What happens if we break the pact? What's the price?
Theron's answer was silence. The nightingale fell quiet. Far below, a torch snuffed out. Seris stared at him, waiting, knowing the real danger was the answer he wouldn't give.
Seize them! The king and the witch, now!
Seris dove behind a toppled marble wolf as arrows slammed into the courtyard stones. Her chest heaved, throat raw from running and the reek of burning oil. She pressed a trembling hand to her sternum, fighting for breath. Steel rang out at the gates. Guards shouted. Someone screamed, a wet, gurgling sound. Priest warriors in soot-streaked robes surged forward, blades raised, faces wild. A guard crashed down beside her, blood pouring from a split brow. Seris ripped fabric from her ruined gown and jammed it against the wound. Magic pulsed through her palm, weak and desperate, but the bleeding slowed.
You're not dying. Not tonight.
The guard's eyes fluttered. An arrow whistled past, too close. Theron dropped beside her, bracer raised. The arrow splintered against metal.
You have a death wish.
He didn't move, shielding her with his body. His jaw was streaked with blood, eyes fixed on the chaos. Seris tried to shift away, but the ground shook as a priest's staff slammed down inches from her knee.
You fight. I fix what's left.
He grunted, almost a laugh, then yanked her up and dragged her behind a shattered pillar. Her braid caught on his cloak. She swore, twisting free. He let go only when they ducked behind a battered shield. Priest warriors pressed the guards back, step by step, toward the dais. The air was thick with smoke, stinging her eyes.
If they break through, the city falls.
Then, don't let them.
She dropped to another wounded squire, hands slick with blood. Magic flickered, barely enough. Her vision narrowed, but she forced herself to keep going. Suddenly, Chaos shifted. The wolf pup, mud-caked, wild darted between priests, teeth clamped on a ceremonial sash. 2 priests stumbled, crashing into the muck. Seris barked a laugh, half mad. Theron shot her a glare, but his mouth twitched.
No animals in the courtyard. Ever.
Start with the priests.
The laughter died. The guard's line buckled. A priest's blade punched through, and High Priest Aldrin strode forward, untouched, eyes locked on Seris.
You cannot break the blood law. Surrender.
Theron stepped in front of her, grip iron tight on her wrist. The ground trembled. Smoke thickened. The wolf pup yelped somewhere behind. Seris met Theron's gaze, fear clawing her insides. Would either of them see dawn?
Move. Now.
She dragged the king down the tunnel, his weight sagging against her. Mud sucked at their boots with every step. Above, steel clashed. Closer now. Seris gripped the lantern tighter, its flame jittering as she half carried him forward.
You plan to outrun them with a half-dead king?
I'll drag you if I have to. Keep up.
He stumbled, biting back a groan. Blood seeped through his tunic, warm against her palm. The tunnel narrowed, forcing them single file. Her ankle buckled. Pain lanced up her leg. She hissed, but didn't slow. A bell tolled behind them. The priests were closing in.
If you collapse, I leave you. Understand?
He managed a crooked smile.
You'd make a ruthless wolf.
I'm not your wolf.
Her foot slid again. This time, she nearly fell. He caught her, grip iron around her arm.
You're limping.
So are you. Priorities, Your Majesty.
He stopped, forcing her to halt. His eyes, ember, unyielding, pinned her.
Sit. Now.
We don't have...
Sit.
She dropped onto a stone ledge, ignoring the chill that crept through her dress. He knelt, tearing fabric from his cloak. His hands shook, but his voice didn't.
Show me.
She glared, but extended her leg. He wrapped her ankle, knotting the cloth tight. The pressure bit, but the pain dulled.
You're not a healer.
No. But I know how to keep someone moving.
Their faces hovered close. Lantern light caught the scar at his temple, the mud streaking his jaw. For a heartbeat, neither spoke.
Why did you stop the ritual? You could have let them kill me. Saved yourself.
He looked away, jaw clenched.
I tried. I tried to do what was demanded.
He paused, voice rough.
But when it mattered, I couldn't. Not for the priests. Not for the kingdom. For me.
A silence pressed between them, heavy as the earth above. Shouts echoed down the tunnel. The moment shattered. He stood, swaying.
Where now? The city's burning. The priests want us dead. You have a plan? Or do we just run until we drop?
He offered his hand. No royal command in it. Just uncertainty.
Old garden. There's a way out beneath it. If the curse doesn't finish us, Aldrin will.
She took his hand, squeezing hard.
I'll keep you alive, King. But I don't follow orders. Not anymore.
He managed a nod. Together, they pressed on, footsteps splashing through the muck. The tunnel bent ahead, darkness thickening. Behind them, the bell rang again. Closer. Seris's heart hammered as she wondered. If they escaped tonight, what would they become? King and traitor, or something neither could name. Seris yanked the chain from the rubble, metal clattering against stone. Her grip tightened, knuckles white.
Careful. That chain's older than this village.
She shot him a look, defiant. It's not the chain that's dangerous. The links were thick, pitted, cold against her skin. Theron's shadow loomed beside her, boots crunching debris. He watched her hands, not her face.
You know whose it was.
She nodded, jaw set. The first queen's. They used it to bind her magic, to keep her heart from breaking the world. He hesitated, voice low.
Chains break. Curses too, if you want them to.
Seris let the chain dangle, its weight dragging at her arm. Only if the prisoner stops lying. That's what she learned. That's why she never left. A distant howl sliced through the night. Seris flinched, pulse racing. She stared at the chain, words tumbling out before she could stop them.
I told myself I hated you, that I wanted you dead, every time the curse tightened.
Theron's eyes narrowed, pain flickering behind his mask. He stepped closer, the chain between them.
If you save me now, is it for revenge or mercy?
She met his gaze, breath shallow. I don't know anymore. His hand hovered near hers, close enough to feel the tremor in the air. Her resolve wavered, the chain suddenly light in her grasp. A horn blared, sharp, urgent. Seris dropped the chain, instinct driving her into Theron's arms. His cloak brushed her cheek as they pressed together, the world shrinking to the space between heartbeats. Wildflowers burst from the cracked earth where she stood, pale and sudden. They broke apart, startled by the magic she couldn't control. Seris stared at the petals underfoot, voice barely a whisper. Should I risk everything for you? The chain lay abandoned in the grass, iron glinting. The knight waited, breathless, for her answer.
You bring a healer to council, my king? Since when do we trust those with soft hands?
The challenge cracked through the courtyard. Seris squared her shoulders, braids snapping behind her. Wolf shifters lined the stone, some sneering, some silent, all watching. Theron's jaw flexed. He didn't answer.
Ask who stopped your sons from bleeding out last winter. Or did you think wounds knit themselves?
A younger wolf barked a laugh, armor scuffed and stained.
Healers patch holes. Doesn't make them pack. We need fangs, not bandages.
Theron's gaze swept the crowd, voice even.
Mercy is a blade, sharper than most of you realize.
A hush. The only movement was the banner overhead, snapping in the wind. Seris stepped forward, fists tight.
You call the king weak, but he's the one standing while priests conspire and villages burn. Maybe you're not afraid of weakness. Maybe you're afraid of what comes next.
A ripple ran through the wolves, some nodding, some scowling. The old shifter's lip curled.
Easy to talk with the king's shadow at your back. Loose tongues don't last long here.
Theron's hand twitched at his side. His next words came quiet, but every wolf heard.
She speaks truth. If you doubt me, step forward. If you want the realm to survive, listen.
No one moved. The air pressed in, thick with waiting. Seris caught Theron's eye. For a heartbeat, something raw passed between them. He leaned close, voice pitched for her alone.
Seris, if I could...
Boots hammered stone. A scout burst into the ring, breathless.
News, my king. The priests struck a deal with the southern lords. 3 armies march. They're nearly here.
A surge of curses. Wolves bristled, hands dropping to hilts. Theron's fist closed. Seris felt the tension coil between them, the council on the edge of shattering. A young wolf broke the gloom with a crooked grin.
Just keep your healer away from my tail. Last time, her poultice turned it into a pine cone.
Laughter burst out, sharp and sudden. For a breath, the pack remembered itself. Seris rolled her eyes, lips twitching despite herself. But Grey Wolf's voice cut through the levity.
If you want loyalty, king, earn it. The priests come. Where will you stand? And her?
The banner whipped flat, the sigil stark against the sky. Seris drew breath, ready to answer. A horn blared from the gate. Not a warning, but a summons. Urgent, wrong. Wolves spun, weapons half drawn. The next choice would bind them or break them. The council's fate balanced on a single, shuddering heartbeat.
Move.
Theron shoved Seris aside as a council shifter crashed to the floor, throat slashed, blood splattering the flagstones. The priest who did it wore council leathers, but his collar was smeared, the sigil nearly gone. Seris staggered, clutching her side. Wet warmth oozed between her fingers. She pressed harder, but it kept coming.
Stay behind me.
He thrust a dagger into her hand. His eyes swept the chaos. Priests in crimson and white, blades drawn, faces twisted, betrayal everywhere. A wolf pup darted past, whimpering. Seris scooped it up, holding it tight against her ribs.
I'm not hiding.
Theron grabbed her arm, grip iron.
You're bleeding out.
Then fix it, or get out of my way.
Steel rang out. 2 elders dropped, one gasping, one silent. Priests poured in, led by High Priest Aldrin, soot streaking his robes, eyes locked on Theron.
King, the sacred law binds even you.
Theron tensed, ready to step forward. Seris yanked him back.
You want a martyr? You'll have to kill me first.
A priest lunged. Seris threw herself between the blade and Theron. Metal sliced her side. Numbness spread, but she didn't fall. The wolf pup yelped, claws digging into her arm. The scent of crushed wolfsbane filled her nose. Theron caught her before she hit the ground, leather rough against her cheek.
Seris, why?
She shoved him, breath ragged.
If you freeze, we're dead. Move.
He didn't. He pressed his forehead to hers, just for a second. Her pulse stuttered. Blood from her side smeared his jaw. Around them, chaos howled. Theron's mask cracked, rage and something rawer in his eyes.
I would burn for you.
He kissed her, hard, desperate, tasting of salt and iron. He clung to her like she was the only thing left. Fire roared up the wall. The wolf pup pressed against her ankle, trembling. Seris pulled away, pain lancing her side.
Don't make promises you can't keep, King.
He grabbed her hand, forced it to her wound, pressing down.
You shouldn't have done that.
And you shouldn't have waited so damn long.
She spat blood, glaring at the priests closing in. A council wolf staggered up, blade jutting from his ribs.
They let the priests in. East Tower, someone from our own...
He collapsed mid-sentence. Seris's mind reeled. Who had betrayed them? Theron tore a strip from his cloak, pressing it to her wound.
You will not die here.
The pup curled at Seris's feet, eyes wide. Sparks hissed against the stone. Aldrin's voice cut through the uproar.
The curse ends tonight, or the bloodline dies with you.
Seris squeezed Theron's hand, refusing to let go. Outside, a howl rose. Shattered, hopeless. Iron coated her tongue. The outpost was lost, and the traitor was still hidden. She did not let go. The far doors crashed open. A figure in council blue, face masked by haze, strode through as the fire climbed higher. Who had come to finish it?
Get up.
Seris forced her body upright, ignoring the sticky warmth seeping through her fingers. Wildflowers bent beneath her knees, petals torn. The outpost above spat embers into the night, but she kept her eyes on the chain at her feet. Theron's boots ground the gentian flat. He didn't reach for her. His stare was all iron and distance.
You're not my judge. I choose the cost.
She looped the chain around her wrist, metal biting into skin. Her other hand shot out, palm open, a dare. He hesitated. The chain glinted between them, catching the fire's glow. Far off, the priest's chanting wavered.
You tie us both to this?
I mend what they shattered.
He took the chain, his grip deliberate. The iron pressed their wrists together, rough and unyielding. For a heartbeat, their skin touched beneath the metal. A jolt shot through Seris. Her wound tore wider, but she held on. The curse's magic surged, hungry, searching for a new vessel. Theron's arm jerked, his breath caught, but he didn't pull away. The world narrowed to the chain, the wound. His hand locked with hers. A tune slipped from Seris's lips, soft, unplanned. The melody her mother sang when hope was thin. Theron's eyes narrowed.
What are you doing?
Taking the weight. I won't let another bleed for me.
The ache in her side deepened, hollow and cold. She poured what strength she had left into the chain, willing the curse to move. The metal grew hot between their wrists. Wildflowers wilted where her blood fell. Theron's grip tightened. She felt his fear, then his stubbornness.
Stop.
You gave me a choice. Let me finish it.
Her strength snapped. Magic blazed through the chain, burning white. The curse shifted, latching onto both of them. For a breath, hope flickered, sacrifice twisting into possibility. The world lurched. The iron seared her skin. She sagged against him, wrists bound, wildflowers crushed beneath their weight. Above, the priest's chant faltered. The old melody drifted on the wind, half remembered. The chain held. The kingdom's fate knotted tight around their joined hands. Theron's breath trembled against her hair. The wound stayed open. The night pressed in. They didn't let go.
What have you done?
Seris lunged forward, reaching for the silhouette in the fog. Her hand passed through mist, then met a grip, impossibly solid.
You're late, child.
Seris jerked back, breath ragged. Where am I? Her voice sounded too thin, too far away.
Between, where chains are forged and broken.
The queen's eyes, icy, ancient, locked onto hers. Seris recognized her own jaw, her own stubborn set to the mouth. The resemblance stung.
Say what you came to say. I'm not here to beg.
The queen's fingers tightened, heat blooming in Seris's palm.
2 chains bind you, one to the throne, one to the priests. You must choose which to break.
A low hum vibrated through the ground, like distant drums. Seris steadied herself.
The priests claim the curse is law. They want blood. Mine, his. The priests are parasites. Cut them out, spare the crown. That is the path.
Seris's jaw locked, and Theron, the queen's gaze softened, regret flickering.
He must give up what anchors him. His claim, his power. Only then...
A vision slammed into Seris, Theron, battered, standing before a ruined throne. His wolf's fang ring, bloodied, gleamed on his finger. Her heart hammered. That ring was the tether. His heart, bound to hers.
So, the cost is his crown, not the kingdom. Only the order that shackles queens to wolves. End them, and the curse unravels.
The queen traced Seris's fingers. Heat flared, then faded.
No mercy for those who would chain you. Freedom or vengeance. You cannot hold both.
The queen's hand slipped away. The mist thickened, carrying the scent of crushed wildflowers. Seris jolted awake, sweat slick on her skin. The queen's touch still tingled in her palm. Theron's face flashed in her mind, his smile, already grieving. He would give up everything, for her. A door crashed open somewhere beyond. Seris sat up, heart racing. The choice was hers now. Would she let Theron fall to free herself, or destroy the priests and risk the world burning?
Enough. I surrender my crown, my life for hers. Do it now.
Seris froze mid-step, boots grinding into the icy crust. The camp was chaos, tents sagged, banners torn, wolves prowling the edges. Smoke drifted, bitter and thin, from last night's fires. Theron knelt, tunic stained, fists pressed into the frozen earth. He didn't look back at her. The wolves formed a ring, eyes fixed, bodies tense. High Priest Aldrin strode forward, robes whispering, the metallic tang of blood trailing him.
The law is simple. A heart for a heart. Yours, Alpha, will not erase her curse, but the pact stands. Is this your final word?
Theron's voice was rough.
It is. Let the curse end with me.
A wolf brushed Seris's leg, urging her forward. She stepped into the circle, planting herself between Theron and the priests.
No. You want a sacrifice? Take it from your own. I won't let him die for me.
Aldrin's eyes narrowed, voice clipped.
You would defy the king's will? The law is not yours to break.
Your law is poison. I'll shatter it myself if I must. But I won't damn the wolves for your pride. Let the old blood die with you, Aldrin.
Theron's shoulders shook. He kept his head bowed, voice barely above a whisper.
Seris, please, don't.
You knelt. You gave everything. Now it's my turn.
Sunlight lanced through the camp, catching on her hair, gilding the tension in the air. The wolves pressed closer, bodies forming a living barricade around her. Aldrin began to chant, words jagged and ancient, echoing across the battered camp. The circle tightened, the choice hung, blood or mercy, sacrifice or revolt. Theron's voice cracked.
Let it be me. End this.
Seris stood tall, refusing to move.
No more kings on their knees, no more healers in chains. I choose how this ends.
The wolves lifted their heads, a single rising howl splitting the dawn. The priests closed in, robes brushing the ground. Under Seris's feet, the earth trembled, waiting for someone to break. Would it be her? Or would the world itself shatter first? Seris slammed her palm to her chest, gasping for air as the silence pressed in. Her knees scraped stone, but she forced herself upright, dagger clenched, blood trickling down her wrist.
Finish it. The curse demands blood. Queen for king. Now.
Aldrin's voice cracked like a whip. His robes hung in tatters, eyes locked on her, daring her to falter. Behind him, Theron staggered, boots dragging across the altar steps.
Seris, don't let them choose for us. End it. Your way.
The curse twisted inside her, a hollow pressure that squeezed every heartbeat. She caught a glimpse of herself in a shard of broken glass, face streaked, eyes wild. The metallic tang of her own blood filled her mouth. She remembered her mother's song, soft, defiant, meant for healing, not this. Pain shot through her ribs. Theron doubled over, clutching his chest, his agony echoing hers.
You chained us, lied to us, hid what we were.
Aldrin sneered, voice low.
Mercy is a cage, girl. Blood is the only key.
A whimper caught Seris's ear. The youngest priest huddled near the sanctuary wall, arms slick with blood, eyes wide with terror. The curse demanded a sacrifice, but not this child. Seris shoved herself upright, every muscle trembling. She stepped between the boy and the altar, dagger raised.
No more. I choose mercy. This ends with me.
She slashed her own arm, letting blood spatter the heart-shaped stain on the stone. The pain was sharp, but it cleared her mind. The curse screamed through her veins. She swayed, nearly falling. Theron caught her, arms strong but shaking. He pressed his forehead to hers, voice raw and desperate.
Stay. Don't leave me.
Something snapped. The pressure vanished, replaced by a dizzying relief. For a heartbeat, she felt only the rough fabric of Theron's sleeve and the warmth of his grip. The silence that followed was different, broken only by the boy's ragged breathing and the distant drip of water. Seris opened her fist. A slip of parchment, damp and crumpled, stuck to her palm. Her mother's handwriting, faded but fierce. If you must choose, choose mercy. Break the chain, not yourself. I am with you in every song. She pressed the note to her lips, breath shaking. A metallic scrape split the quiet. The altar stone shifted, revealing a rusted iron key and a wolf's bane amulet, slick with oil. Seris reached for them, fingers trembling. Her arm throbbed, a wound she would carry. Theron pulled her close, his strength spent. Aldrin slumped, defeated. The boy priest sobbed, spared but forever changed. Seris turned the key in her palm, metal still warm from its hiding place. She met Theron's eyes, searching for something left to hope for. Then, deep below, a grinding rumble echoed up, chains loosening, secrets stirring. The sanctuary was not finished.
You're late, Theron.
She knelt in the garden's tangled herbs, dirt under her nails, sleeves shoved past her elbows. A single, stubborn blossom pushed up through the broken earth. Seris pressed her palm to the soil, feeling the pulse of new growth. Theron's boots scraped the gravel behind her. He stopped at the edge of the garden, shoulders squared, tunic plain, scars visible. No crown, no cloak. He looked smaller without them, but more dangerous.
I didn't want to interrupt.
She glanced over her shoulder, lips twitching. The Alpha King's ring hung from a rose thorn, dew clinging to the silver wolf's head. He'd left it behind.
You never used to ask permission.
He stepped closer, gaze fixed on her hands. Faint lines crossed her wrists, remnants of iron, not yet faded. A bee landed on her thumb. She stilled, watching its delicate legs explore her skin. The sensation was strange, almost foreign after so much numbness.
You're not afraid anymore.
I was never afraid of you.
The bee lifted off, drifting toward the lavender. Seris flexed her fingers, testing the truth of her own words. Theron hesitated, then crouched beside her, close enough that she could see the tension in his jaw.
You could have left. No one would have blamed you.
I didn't come back for the kingdom.
He nodded, silent. The garden was quiet, except for the faint rustle of leaves.
But you came back.
She met his eyes. The question hung between them. What now, with the law shattered and the curse broken?
Do you regret it? Breaking the law for me?
He looked away, jaw clenched.
Regret is for cowards. I chose. I'll keep choosing.
Seris exhaled, shoulders loosening. She pressed her palm to the stone bench beside her, grounding herself in the present.
The village is still in ruins. The priests.
Let them come. We decide what this place becomes now.
A bird darted overhead, feathers flashing through the broken glass. Seris traced the faint scars on her wrist, remembering the weight of chains. Theron's ring glinted on the rosebush, forgotten for now. Footsteps pounded on the gravel. A messenger burst into the garden, blue livery streaked with dust. A letter clutched in his fist. He thrust it towards Seris, breath ragged. The seal was foreign. A wolf entwined with a serpent, wax deep blue. She took it, pulse steady. The garden was alive, but the war was not over. Some scars fade, others shape what comes next. Would you have stayed, with the kingdom in ruins and the curse lifted, or walked away? If Seris's strength moved you, follow her story. The next letter could change everything.